Hello, Robert here with Breathing Mobile Washer Company. I've been asked a few times through emails to describe the difference between a competitive product and how the Breathing Mobile Washer is actually different. And before I want to talk about the differences, let me talk about the similarities. So the similarities are that they basically look alike, and that's about where the similarities end. Because when you look at the products, we actually put a longer handle on this so that you're not bending down as much when you're doing the plunging, and then also the way that the handles are put together is a huge difference. With this product, you basically have a compression fit handle that just has a taper on the end that simply slides down into the unit. This unit was designed basically to push water down through the clothing. It never was intended of pushing the water down and pulling the water back up. That's what the breathing washer does, is that we have a screw-in handle which has a metal reinforced tip which has a universal thread on it that gives you the flexibility as the customer to either put a shorter handle on or put a longer handle on, whatever suits your needs at the time. But it also screws in because it has some serious plunging action as you're plunging the clothing and cleaning them. It also pushes the water down as well as it pulls the water up, and I'm going to show you how the design actually helps that happen. With the design on the competitor's product, what it has is it has some very sharp edges here, and this has been said that this can actually rip the clothes or tear buttons off. It's just very harsh. So you know, as you're normally going through and plunging the clothes and you're turning it sideways, that if you actually plunge too deep, the clothing comes up, and especially if it's some delicate types of clothes, it actually hits these edges and can rip the fabric and rip buttons off. On the other hand, when we designed the Breathing Mobile Washer, we took out the roughness of the edges, we put a very smooth edge on, and we've had no issues whatsoever with people telling us that it's abrasive on clothing, it rips them or it tears off buttons. The other thing I want to focus on is basically when you look at the product underneath from a design standpoint, this design basically limits the agitation of the water because it centralizes the cleaning action right here within the middle of the cone. And so we try to use the entire circumference, and I'll show you a little bit later on the Breathing Mobile Washer, but this basically just has a downward motion that limits the ability for it to actually create a suction of pulling the water back through. The Breathing Mobile Washer, on the other hand, utilizes the entire surface of the underneath to create action and agitation for the cleaning of the clothes. So this actually has reinforced ridges that provide some rigidity and some strength as you're pushing down on the clothes, that pushes the clothing down, pushes the water through the clothes, and then it's designed so that it actually pulls the water back up, and there's holes in the top of the cone that actually create a suction and a breathing action of pulling that water back up, and that's why it's called the Breathing Mobile Washer, is because it sounds like someone actually breathing while they're plunging the clothes. The last thing that I want to focus on is the special care of the product. So the manufacturer has suggested that after you use their washer, that you somehow get into each one of these little fins and grooves and dry it off, and then apply a thin coat of oil so that it doesn't rust. As you can see, this thing is very prone to rusting out on you, and you know, when I think about applying oil to something and then using it to wash clothes, it kind of is counterproductive. I'm trying to clean the clothes, not put some oil on them. Now the Breathing Mobile Washer, on the other hand, is made to get wet. It's made out of durable plastic. It's very strong, and it requires no special cleaning. You basically use it, then store it, and it's ready for use at any point in time. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding as to why we think we invented a better mousetrap, why we have a superior product in terms of cleaning and being able to pull water through the clothes as well as pushing it through the clothes. And that answers any questions that you might have about the Breathing Mobile Washer. So thank you very much.